Hello everyone, welcome to the 8th annual AngelList Confidential. As always, we really love using this conference as a way to highlight initiatives we're excited about, hosting informative fireside and panel discussions, and just really to get our broader community together in person. We're going to do two things differently this year. First, majority of the sessions that are happening are actually in person in our San Francisco office and being live streamed to you. That's where I am right now. The second is we're expanding the range of speakers this year from just emerging GPs and founders to also including institutional GPs, LPs, law firms, and fund administrators. So with that, let's get going. So first, I want to start by sharing our focus, which is to build infrastructure for the startup economy. We think this is really important because we believe startups are here to save the world. And they do this by delivering innovation at scale. From Amazon to Google to what we saw with OpenAI just a couple of days ago, startups are really transforming every aspect of our society. So we're focused on building infrastructure that removes frictions such that more of these startups can get funded, recruit talent, and scale. Now, there are many types of infrastructure that we could build for startups, but we've chosen to build three. Fund infrastructure, capital infrastructure, and equity infrastructure. And for each, we've actually built products. For funds, we have full service funds. For capital, we have AngelList Capital. And for equity, we have equity management. And we're operating at scale on all three of these product areas. For full service funds, we have 20,000 funds and syndicates now, 16 billion in assets under administration, and over 22,000 portfolio companies. For AngelList Capital, we have $3.2 billion that's now been invested on the platform. This is fresh capital that wouldn't have been invested if it weren't for AngelList. And on equity management, with RUVs, $750 million has now been committed into startups. And for cap tables, we now have 100% of the top 10 law firms managing equity for their clients on AngelList Equity. Now, let's take a closer look into full service funds. As a reminder, we first launched SPVs in 2014. And when we launched it then, it was really a way to help some of these smaller LPs amplify their check into startups. Then in 2016, we launched venture funds, and we started off with small venture funds, $500,000 venture funds, $1 million venture funds. And this was a really great way to bring a lot more people into the venture ecosystem. And in 2020, we invented and launched rolling funds. One major reason we've been operating at scale is because we've actually built great software and bundled it with stellar service. For software, you can broadly think of it as investor management, portfolio management, finance, and tax. And for service, we actually created our own fund administrator in 2019 called Bell Tower that does financial reporting and tax reporting. Creating our own first-party administrator gave us the ability to modernize the entire practice of fund management by building front office and back office software and to have everything just work seamlessly. As we continued talking with more customers, especially the larger funds, there was a desire to bring their own fund administrator to plug and play with AngelList software. What we heard again and again was that they really liked their service-based relationship or the specialty of their fund administrator, but they needed to modernize their fund management stack because of increasing GP, LP, and regulatory demands. So the question we considered was, how do we evolve AngelList software to work with any fund administrator? Well, starting today, I'm excited to announce that any fund can now use AngelList software with their existing fund administrator. We're fund admin agnostic. In the last few months, we've already seen some great success stories. One example is a $1 billion AUM fund was interested in using our treasury product, which is part of our finance suite, with their existing fund administrator. Another example is a $16 billion AUM fund that was interested in using our digital subscriptions product to create a great closing experience for their LPs. Now, this is useful for any fund that's interested in keeping their existing fund admin and wants to modernize their stack. There's also a really common case where a large fund is looking to switch out their administrator entirely or find a new one because they're launching a new fund. For this case, we're also excited to announce that we have a preferred partner program. It includes 4 fund administrators spanning venture, private equity, and crypto. And we've carefully curated these partners to ensure that no matter your fund size or thesis, the AngelList platform can serve your needs. The first of this preferred partner, of course, is Bell Tower, our native fund administrator, as I mentioned earlier. The second is Four Pines. Their focus is primarily private equity and fund of funds, and their team has managed $50 billion in assets. The third is Cornerstone. They're actually owned by one of the top fund administrators in the world with a specific focus on venture and private equity. And the fourth is MG Stover, which has $38 billion in assets, and they're focused on crypto and digital assets. So this means no matter your fund size or your thesis, the AngelList platform can support your fund. So if you're a venture fund, less than 150 million, looking for full service, from fund formation to portfolio management to financial reporting and tax reporting, which is all in one, you can still use AngelList full service software with Bell Tower as your administrator. If you're a $500 million private equity fund looking for classic fund administration, you can use AngelList investor management and finance software with Four Pines or Cornerstone as your administrator. And if you're a native crypto fund looking for on-chain accounting, looking for classic crypto fund administration, you can use AngelList software with MG Stover as your administrator. So again, no matter the fund size or thesis, the AngelList platform will support any type of fund. We're going to dive more into this topic with our new partners tomorrow during a panel discussion, so be sure to tune in if you're interested in learning more. And if you're a fund looking for a new administrator today, reach out to partnerships@angellist.com. Now, these two announcements are really laying the groundwork for 2024 and beyond. But we also want to share everything that we've shipped this year that's led up to this point. Let's take a look at what we shipped. Let's take a look at what we shipped for the fund side of the business. We, of course, started the year with a very unpleasant surprise with SVB going through a bank run. SVB was our primary and our main banking partner for many, many years. And in mid-2022, we made a decision to evolve the banking infrastructure and partner with many other banks. So this put us in an important position to safeguard customer funds quickly when SVB went under on March 9th. In June, we launched the best capital management solution for funds with AngelList Treasury, all the way from 125 million FDIC coverage to multi-bank redundancy, the ability to invest in US Treasuries, get a credit line, everything integrated in one dashboard. And we've already moved north of $60 billion through our ledger. We also launched Projector, which is the most sophisticated fund modeling tool fully backed by AngelList market data. With just a few clicks, you can project your returns like DPI, IRR, and MOIC. And for funds already administering on platform, we automatically connect to your underlying investment data. We also launched Relay, our AI-powered portfolio analyzer, which parses portfolio company updates sent via email. So all you need to do is when you get a portfolio company update, you simply forward the email and the software just structures it all. And since launch, we've processed 200,000 terms using Relay. We also recently launched the first data room product that's geared for modern fundraising with intuitive design and advanced analytics. We also launched the most sophisticated investor onboarding solution with AngelList Transact. It replaces subscription paperwork with flexible digital workflows that save time and reduce friction, especially for larger funds. So no more DocuSigns going around. It's just all done beautifully in product. And already more than $5 billion has been closed using AngelList Transact. At the same time, we also announced our acquisition of Nova to power AngelList Transact. We also continue to make important improvements to our existing products, from a K1 status tracker for LPs, which is useful during tax time, to a fully featured management company product, including banking, accounting, and tax support. We've also streamlined the SPV and LP management flows. And one of the most important updates we made was to actually surface portfolio company transaction reviews. So when a follow-on round happens or there's an M&A, we take all of the data coming out of the legal docs and then we share that with the GP. And we've also been investing in a series of deep deep infrastructure improvements to make sure that the experience of every fund on the platform keeps on improving. Now let's cover a bit on the equity side in terms of launches there. In August, we launched tie-outs for cap tables. Most cap tables are not a source of truth. The only source of truth are the underlying legal documents and your law firm. And our tie-out assistant scans legal documents with AI to uncover problems in your cap table. Since launching tie-outs, we've already flagged 5,000 inconsistencies. These are 5,000 issues between the legal docs and the cap table. And each inconsistency has major risk exposure for the founder and the company. And in September, we launched AI Assistant for cap tables. Think of this as ChatGPT brought to your cap table. So you can simply ask it a question like, hey, how much equity do I have? Or what's the fully diluted share count? Or you can have it take action for you, like, hey, I want to issue a new equity package to a new employee. Okay, so that's it for my set of announcements and keynote. We have a stellar lineup of speakers and topics today, tomorrow, and Friday. And the topics are wide-ranging, from AI to institutional LPs to a fireside chat I'll be doing with Naval tomorrow. I'm sure you're going to find them informative and engaging. For our next session, I'm actually going to turn it over to Shinron, who will go into more detail around how better software can scale your fund. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of AIL Confidential.